So really giving us ourselves time to trust the warmth, trust the light again, giving ourselves time to believe in it, to trust this, because you really realize, wow, the night is really truly over and the sun is dawning now. Hello and welcome back to Remember Why You're Here, a podcast for seekers and sensitives where you can relax, receive, reconnect to yourself, and remember the most important thing of all, why you're here. I'm Asia Suler, author, earth intuitive, teacher, and this is our intuitive reading for the month of June 2026. I'm excited about what is coming up for us this month. We've got themes this month of creative liberation, authentic expression, soul attunement, return of the light, and the dawning of a new era. So much goodness in this reading ahead. But before we jump in, I have a little bit of housekeeping. One, if you have been interested in signing up for intuitive plant medicine, that course is on sale for 40% off right now, and that sale is about to end on June 4th. So if you are interested in connecting to the world around you in this season, to developing relationships with the green world, to knowing how to communicate with plants, how to make medicine with plants, and how to enrich your life really in every way through connecting with the living world, I would love to see you in the program. The other little bit of housekeeping that I have today is a really exciting announcement that I sent out to my newsletter list. So if you're not on the newsletter list, you might not know about it yet, but I just started a space for us called Remember Why You Are Here. So if you love this podcast, you're going to love this space. This space, Remember Why You're Here, is over on Substack. It's a space where I'm going to be sharing podcast episodes as well as expanded episodes. I am revisiting our monthly readings at the end of the month over there on that space. So I'm reflecting on what actually happened that month, what came through for me, what I'm seeing as the overall themes. There's also going to be my writing, other opportunities to be in discussion with members of this community, and really just a sanctuary space, a rich space where we can go and share, where I can be in even more of my authentic expression. I've been noticing in social media world that I have just been feeling like really unable to drop in and share more fully from my more fully expressed self. I've noticed the way my attention fragments the moment I open Instagram, and I've really been tracking the ways in which it has become a platform in which I can't really fully share anymore, where I don't feel expanded enough, open enough, and connected enough, and in relationship enough to people to really show up in my fullness and share what I have to share. And so this podcast is a place where I have been able to do that, and I've loved connecting with you all through this podcast. And this Substack space is the next step in creating a space where we can go deeper, a space where we can remember even more of why we're here. So if you are lit up by this podcast and you want to go deeper, you want to be in a wider community, you just want more in general, more of remembering why you're here, then head over my Substack. It's asuler.substack.com. I'll put the link here below, or you could just Google Remember Why You're Here Substack. I am so looking forward to connecting with all those who feel called there. Oh, and in case I didn't mention it, this space is completely free. So most of what I mentioned is going to be entirely free inside of that space. There are going to be some benefits that are just for the paid subscribers, but by and large, most of this space is created for you to step into and enjoy right now. So if you feel called, join me there. All right, so let's hop into our reading for this month. So this month, I worked with the Soul Tarot deck by Lindsay Mack, this brand new deck that is out in the world with their book, Tarot for the Wild Soul. If you didn't catch my interview with Lindsay a couple weeks ago, head on back and listen to that interview. So much richness came in, and I really wanted to work with their deck for this reading of June because A, I love the deck, and B, it just really felt like with this deck being born into the world right now, it's bringing through so much powerful, fresh energy, and it did not disappoint. So this deck is illustrated by the lovely Chelsea Granger, and I do highly recommend getting the book as well as the deck, because the book goes even deeper into the reading of the cards and the description of the cards, and I just love what Lindsay writes in their book. But I'm going to tell you, when I got this deck, I went outside, I'm picking our card for the month, I'm sitting by my creek here, and I picked, for our month ahead, one of the best, one of the most positive, one of the most benefic cards in the entire deck. Are you ready for it? Our card for this month is the Sun. Are we lucky or what? Okay, so this was the card that I picked from this beautiful new deck. So traditionally, this card is considered like one of the most benefic cards in the whole deck, like one of the most positive, optimistic cards you could get in the whole deck. It's really about the clarity and enlightenment after like deep travois in your life, after, deep traversing deep terrain, after, the sort of the dark soul of the night. It's about the sun returning, optimism, new beginnings. Some tarot readers see the sun as like a yes card. Like if it shows up in a reading, like, yes, whatever it is, yes. And I love all these interpretations of the sun. And I really love what Lindsay wrote in their book. So I want to just talk a little bit about the way in which Lindsay describes this card, because it really resonated with me. So in the book Tarot for the Wild Soul, Lindsay talks about this card as a dawning after a period of night. It's the closing of a long chapter. Specifically, they wrote, it's a gentle, gradual awakening that something has shifted. The night has gone and the light is back. So they go on to talk about this card of the sun, is you kind of know you're in a sun phase when you start to talk about something in the past tense. You might not even realize that you're doing it quite yet, but you start to realize, oh, I'm speaking about that in the past tense because it's not the same way anymore. Something has shifted. There's illumination and the opportunity for reflection. Like you really earned this kind of perspective on this situation. They wrote in particular, something for one reason or another really is behind us, and our entire body and soul know it. I just want to take a moment because I just got full body chills and tears behind my eyes reading that. Something is really, truly behind us, and our entire body and soul knows it. Another thing that Lindsay writes about this card, though, that I think we need to just remind ourselves as we walk into this month is that just like a sunrise, sometimes this transition is so gradual that it can be difficult to understand that we're in it. So really giving ourselves time to trust the warmth, trust the light again, giving ourselves time to believe in it, to trust this. And so, this is really the time, as Lindsay writes, when the writing, the words, the laughter, and even more tears begin to flow, because you really realize, wow, the night is really truly over and the sun is dawning now. Shoot, okay. Wow. I could not have been more delighted to get this card for this month, and it really dovetailed with what was already coming in for me in moving into this month of June 2026. So since starting these intuitive readings, I've noticed that somewhere around mid-month, I start getting downloads about the next month, the month ahead. And so I was already starting to get some downloads about what June would be like for this collective. And then this card came in and I was like, it all makes sense. It all is here together. So the thing that I keep saying is, this really is the dawn of a new era. There's something about this month that is like a new era is starting. Even if it's subtle at first, it is happening. And I kept thinking about the way in which here in the Northern Hemisphere, the sun is at its highest zenith in June, right? We get our longest day of the year in June, and yet it really is just the beginning of the season. It's just the beginning of the summer. It's when we really get into the thick of the growing season. And so there's this sense of, even though there's something coming to fruition this month, something truly ending, a new era really beginning, like we are really just You are at the beginning of a new cycle of growth in your life. And that is just so exciting. There is the sense that some things have reached their pinnacle and you are letting them go. This idea of right sizing your life and, really being able to now welcome in the newness that you have been working towards. I wrote down in my notes, really, truly, because part of you might be like, I cannot trust this yet, Asia. I have been hoping for this for so long, but what really came for me was like really, truly new era vibes this June. And behind all of this, behind this new era, the energy that is there that I'm feeling so deeply and that really started coming in for me mid-month in May is the flowering of creative energy and specifically seeing creativity as your guide. There's something this month about your creativity finally flowing, like you being able to really honor the importance of following your own creative life force. And within that, really following your own specific creative impulse. I get this sense like the creative impulse this month is going to be strong, and your job is to say yes to it. Your job is to be like the sun and be like, yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, I'm going to let that flow. And I want to be specific here about creative impulse because so often when we move into creative ventures or when we're allowing ourselves to be more creative, we can start to try to control the situation, right? We can start to be like, all right, like, how do I be strategic about this? Like, how do I be structured? But the creative impulse as an energy on this planet, it's not strategic, it's not structured, it's not controlled, and it's not known. So when I say follow your creative impulse and be in your creative impulse, I'm also saying, let your creative impulse, what you're being drawn to move towards, what you're being drawn to create, what you're being drawn to, dream into being, to paint, to write, to publish, to put out in the world, to, whatever it is, collage, to, put together, whatever it is that you're really feeling called to do this month, let it be messy. Let yourself step away from the strategy, the control, the planning, I need to know that if I'm creative in this way, that it will lead to such and such outcomes and it will help me move forward in my life in this way. That's not what the creative impulse is about. It's about letting yourself follow it and see where it leads. The creative impulse, it's got this heart of play to it. So when we see our children being creative, they're not being creative from the space of like, well, if I create this, then it will enable these doors to open for me in my life. And no. They're just like, I want to do this. This sounds fun. Let's see what happens. It's that throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks kind of mentality. And I want you to be in that mentality this month with your creativity. This is not about like really being meticulous about building the foundation of what's to come. This is about you being in your creative joy, in your creative impulse, listening to that life force within you. The creative impulse is really the impulse of our heart. And as I talked about in an episode a few weeks ago, when I shared the one word, I think it was like basically the one word that heals everything. And that word was possibility, spoiler alert. And what I talked about in that episode was this idea that like the heart is really where we hold possibility, that our heart never stops believing in possibilities. And when we stop believing in possibilities, that's really when our heart decides, okay, I guess that's it for this lifetime. It's time to go. And so when we are following the creative impulse, this impulse that's coming from our heart, we are also opening to all the possibilities that are here, because when we try to structure and strategize and control what really wants to be this really generative, wild force, this green force, when we try to control that, we shut down some of the possibility. We are not able to access to the possibilities that are beyond our ability to control, are beyond our ability to know. So there's something about stepping into the unknown with creativity as your guide. So really be playful here with your creativity this month. Like allow it to delight you, allow it to bring you into new eras of exploration, and be a bit like a child of just like, let's see what happens. There's also this piece of your creativity being the key to your authenticity. And I talked about this in the themes for this month, that there's this theme of really authentically expressing oneself, radiating authenticity. I think, and I know I've been saying this on this podcast for a while now, but I think the direction we're moving in as a world is absolutely requiring us, each individually, to be more and more of our authentic selves. It's not like something that's like flowery and nice and it's essential to our lives and to what's evolving in the world right now. You being your authentic self and being your authentic expression. So, with creativity, when we take away that need to control it or to know where it's leading us, we open up this authenticity of us being on this journey, being curious, being open to possibilities, allowing the life force that flows through us to simply flow into the world. And like, there's something this month about really remembering that a huge part of why you're here is just to express yourself, to be the unique energy that is you. That's the gift that you are bringing to this world. That's why you're here. That's why you're in this body with this unique energy signature, with the aspects of your soul that you have brought into this lifetime. It's to express yourself. It's to be your authentic self. And so there's something this month about letting yourself shine, whatever that means for you. Where are the areas where you've been holding back? Where are the areas where you've been like, I don't know if I could really say that or do that or share that or write that or put that out there? Really give yourself permission to radiate your authentic self. Your authentic self is going to be complex, dynamic, changing, paradoxical. Your authentic self is not very predictable. Your authentic self is a multiverse unto itself. Allow yourself to be that this month. This month, there's something about undoing the restrictions, undoing the binds. Like, let it go. What have you been holding back? Can you be more of yourself here? And I really see May. It's always so interesting to me to do these readings and then look back at the previous month and say, oh, this is why it was that way. This is where we were headed. So I really see that May was the preparation for this. And that is why, in particular, I talked in May about the importance of side quests and of allowing yourself like these times to just be in the river bend and like, dilly dally there, see where it takes you. There was this piece in particular that came in when I was channeling for this reading about procrastination and helping you rewrite procrastination. So we see procrastination often as like some sort of character flaw or down flaw, like, oh, I procrastinated. Why did I do that? Whatever it is, all the judgments we have on ourselves. But sometimes procrastination is simply preparation. We're procrastinating because we're not having the preparatory time that we need. And then oftentimes we don't recognize that. And so we're procrastinating in ways that aren't actually preparing us. Maybe it's like you're going down some sort of YouTube rabbit hole. Very guilty of that. And there's nothing really wrong with that, but it is helpful to realize when we procrastinate, it's often because we are actually needing more preparation before we step into the thing. So May was the preparation, and that's why there was so much permission in May of like, take the side quest, babe, like go down there. Let yourself dilly, let yourself dally, see what happens, enjoy what you can, find those spaces of peace, because that was the preparation for now in June. There's some sort of liberation in your creativity coming through and this ability to step into deeper tides of self-expression. And I want to name specifically that often we can't do this work until we feel the dawning of the light again. We can't strong arm ourselves into an era of creative liberation. That's just not how it works. But often it's through saying yes to the night. It's through saying yes to the hard times, through being in it, through companioning yourself, to continuing to be with yourself and allow yourself to feel what it is that's coming up for you, that then allows the light to dawn. And it's really the first dawning of that light that often gives us the energy then to step into the new era that we've been calling into being. And so I just want to say here, there's no shame if there's some aspect of yourself where you're like, Asia, why didn't I do this like a year ago? Why didn't I do this 5 years ago? Why didn't I do this 10 years ago? It's because it wasn't the right time. You're doing it now because the light is dawning and the opportunity is here for you. So let go of any self-judgment and just enjoy what is arising for you this month, the permission slip that you're getting from your own soul to express yourself. I really loved looking at the visuals of this card in particular. So on this card, there are mountain ranges or blue mountain ranges, and the sun is coming up from behind these dark ridges. And there's a river that comes from two places in the mountains and converges going down the mountain. And it was so perfect because it ties in so beautifully with our readings from both May and April. It really is feeling like we're on this whole like journey within a larger journey right now, is how it feels. And the visuals just align so perfectly with April having been this waterfall month, with May having been the river month. And now in June, we get this image of the sun rising above the river and the waterfall and being like, here it is. Like, here it is. The new journey is beginning. I really got this sense like you've met the changes that have been asked of you, and there have been many. You've met those changes, and now you're expanding into more of the width of who you truly are. So this really, to me, feels like, now you see, like, having gone through this little journey within a journey, especially this like April to now phase, you're seeing even more of why that journey was necessary, why you had to go through what you went through these past few months to get to this point of the sun rising. And I love on the card those two rivers merging into one, because there's a sense of converging of the work you've been doing. It's like the converging of this work of your passion, your creativity, the work of what you've been cultivating. It's the disparate pieces of what you've been cultivating in your life and tending and giving so much energy and love and time to, that there's a convergence of what you've been cultivating, and it will carry you. It is bringing you somewhere new. So this really is a month where through our creative impulse, through the creativity that is our life force, through accessing again our authentic expression, that we're able to reattune to our own soul, reattune to our soul self. So I had to talk about my sun catcher metaphor here. If you've never heard me talk about this before, just hang in there. If you've heard me talk about this before, we can just gather in the sunlit room. So because we got the sun, I was like, we got to talk about the sun catcher. I've had this metaphor for a long time, ever since I first started teaching, of embodiment as the sun catcher. So if you look at a beautiful crystal sun catcher in a window, catching that light, that sun catcher in that window is you, in your body, in this form, in this lifetime. But what animates that sun catcher is the sun itself. And that sun itself is so vast, so huge. That sun is emanating over the entire earth. You, in your soul essence, are as big and wide as the sun. That is who you are. That is your width. That is the essential essence of your being. You are that magnificent. You are that large. You decide to send a beam of your light to this planet. I mean, think about all the places the sun in our solar system is radiating, not just on Earth, right? But you decide to send a beam of your light here to this planet, to this place, to this time, to that window, this frame of this lifetime, into your body, the sun catcher that is your body. And your goal, your only real mission this lifetime, is to be open to the light of your soul, open to who you authentically are, radiating through you. And what happens when a sun catcher is open to the light? Rainbows, right? We see rainbows on the wall opposite of us. And those rainbows are our gifts. Those rainbows are the gifts that come through when we are in our authentic creative expression. So there's something this month of, through allowing that expression to come through allowing that creativity, you are going to be able to remember the sun that is yourself, the greater light that you come from, that energy that is the essence of your soul, that is the essence of who you are, the self source that you come from. So this is just part and parcel of authenticity. Authenticity itself brings you back to your soul. It returns you to your soul. And when you feel connected to your soul, anything is possible. When you feel connected to your soul, you are always guided in life. When you feel connected to your soul, you always have perspective. You know which direction to take. You feel like you can actually inhabit your life and bring the fullness of you here. And so I feel this sense of drawing closer to a remembrance of our own souls this month. And what a relief that is to remember that. I also want to say here that when we talk about things like creativity and self-expression, sometimes we can go into places of thinking, well, Who am I to just like follow my creative whims when people are deeply suffering in the world? Like what right do I have to just be in creative joy when people are just moving through immense hardship? And I want to say that this is actually incredibly important because your light is the antidote to all the darkness in this world. Darkness does not defeat other darkness. Darkness does not dim the darkness. Only light can do that. So, you radiating authenticity and expression is you bringing more of your soul to this planet to help in the great change, in the great shifting. And I want to be clear that when I'm talking about creative expression, creative joy, following the creative impulse, connection to one's soul, this is not the same thing as spiritual bypassing or just like la-di-da land or like, even happiness, right? The creative self, the creative soul, this is about fulfillment. This is about really, being in your growth, and that deep sense of fulfillment in expressing oneself is how we grow. It's how we step into our gifts. It's literally how we bring the rainbows we were meant to bring to this world to illuminate this world. And it's really important when you have the ability to, when a window opens up in the ways that it does in our lives, when we have those miracle windows, when we have the sun as it's rising, to let the lightness in. Let it in, because that is going to help you. That is going to help everyone around you. And ultimately, that is going to help the world, for you to be a channel for that light. And this is how we change our programming as human beings, to see the light, to embody the light, to allow that light to move through us and to transform this world. Your light, when you authentically embody and express it, becomes a torch for this world. Think about it. Think about all the works of art that have helped you through life. All of the paintings, all of the poetry, all of the dances. Think about whatever it is that is your art. Think about all the haikus. Think about the time spent, whatever it was, making that necklace for yourself. Like anything that is authentic creative expression, that is an artwork coming from the soul, it opens us up to reconnect to our souls, to reconnect to our purpose, to reconnect to why we're here. So you allowing this light to dawn in your life this month is a really essential ingredient for evolution on this planet. I feel that so strongly. And it's almost like we'd be doing the world a disservice. It's not almost like it is. We would be doing the world a disservice if we did not allow this light to move through us now. So, how do we meet this month ahead? Like, how do we meet the sun as it rises? Well, the first thing I want to say is it's like when you have a sunny day. When you get a sunny day after after a long winter or a stretch of rain, you get out in it and enjoy it. It's a sunny day. Get out there. Get your body in the sun. Get your face in the sun. I think very literally, if you have sun on days this month, get out there to get some sun on your body, get some sun on your eyelids, on your hands, and your fingernails. Like, just allow that sun in, but in a more metaphysical way. Like, when you have those moments of inspiration and creativity and dawning and perspective, like, let it in, like, enjoy it, go out into it, go meet the sunrise, go meet the dawn. Obviously, follow that creative spark, like, just do it. There's really an energy this month of like, make the leap, just do it, make the decision, throw spaghetti at the wall, see what happens. Like, be creative about the way you're living your life, and see where that brings you. And really embracing this energy and asking yourself, where do you want your energy to go? Like, really embracing this creative spark energy and being like, what do I want to spend my energy on? And knowing that it's okay to change your mind. Change your mind this month if you want to. Spend it on something else. Invest in something you didn't think you were going to invest in. Give it a try. That energy is going to bring in so much potential for us. I've been saying this now for months, but it does feel like there's like something that's coming in July that's like a clicking into place, it's like something coming in, something coming home to roost, something something, I don't know what, something's clicking in July, something big. And so there's this sense of like, get clear on your creative life force, like before that. It's like, this is the time to do that. There's like a little bit of now or never energy, but not in an urgency kind of way. It's like, do it, like, just go for it. And the last thing that my guide said to me that I really needed to hear, and it was meant to come through for all of us, is this: your life force is worth it. Your life force is worth it. You are worth taking that leap. You are worth investing in creativity. You are worth really giving yourself time and space to focus on your art and your expression, to be your full self in this world. Your life force, what it is you're carrying in this world, it's worth it. It is, the earth is actually asking you to prioritize your life force because it is so deeply needed on this planet. So, if this is landing for you, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about what you are feeling this month, what you want to commit to creatively. If you'd like to share in our news space, head on over to the Substack. Remember why you're here. You can comment on this post and you can share what's been coming up from you. I love hearing about what other people are receiving for this month ahead, how they're orienting. It's just such a beautiful collective here. So I will post that link there, or you could go to asuler.substack.com. Remember why you are here. And I would just be so excited to hear what exactly ends up dawning for you this month, because I think we're in for like a little bit of a treat. That treat of the sun rising. Like, oof, it's like I want to go back and read what Lindsay had written about like that era. It really is over. The night really is over. And I just think we need to hear that so much. And if you feel so moved, if you wanted to like sprinkle some fairy dust light over my day, to have the sun rise over my life, it would mean the world to me if you left a rating or review for this podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's a thumbs up or stars. I recently got this review on Apple Podcasts, and it just meant so much. So Lee wrote, "One of my all-time favorite podcasts. I always get excited when new episodes drop, as I'm eager to hear what new wisdom Asia has for us. Her voice is so soothing and her insights and offerings divine. Thank you for all you bring to this world." You are so welcome. And then this came in from Sarah. Sarah wrote, "Spot on. Thank you so much, Asia, for doing your monthly intuitive readings. I find that I look forward to these every month, as well as all of your podcasts, as you put to words the energies that I also feel, which helps me trust my own intuition. How validating. I'm so grateful for this gift." And that's just the biggest compliment ever, because so much of my job is to simply reflect back to you the gifts that you carry, which are immense. So I am just so excited to see what you allow yourself to express and create this month, the ways in which you give yourself permission to be who you authentically are, to follow that creative impulse, and to uncover this most important thing of all in your life: remembering why you're here.